Okay guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the new Eachine Wizard X220S. This is an updated version of the Wizard X220 and they've pretty much upgraded everything on this end. So we're going to do a full video, break it down, see what kind of new components we've got, and we'll compare it to the old version. We'll set this up in beta flight, go ahead and fly it, and we'll compare how it is to the older version. Okay, so we've got a quick start guide. And it looks like it's just been printed out in paper. This might be such an early batch that some of these things aren't finalized yet. It all looks pretty straightforward. We'll go over that later. This box is fully packed. Okay, so after that we get a huge bag of props. I think these are 50-51 pitched, and they're got this sort of really crazy angle on the prop here. I'll show you that a little later. This is a wall adapter. I believe this is for the Lipo Charger. Here's the Lipo. It's a 4-cell 1500, pretty beefy. 75C with XD60, should be a good battery. Here's the transmitter. It's a FlySky clone, the iRange X. It's the IRX I6X. This is the 10-channel radio. I've done a review on this on my channel previously. This is a clone of the i6X from FlySky. It pretty much functions exactly the same, and it looks like the screen's damaged here, but this is just a piece of plastic that's over the screen. It's like screen protector. I'll just take that off later. Looks like they're including a run cam or GoPro session mount here. This is not 3D printed. This is some sort of silicone or some sort of flexible plastic, so it looks really strong. Get a Pagoda antenna, and this looks like it's a SMA Pagoda antenna, right-hand circular polarized. Extra prop nuts here, and a bag of extra M3 screws. And here's the Lipo Charger. Wall adapter goes in there, and you plug in your balance lead over onto the side. You've got some foam feet that go under the arms for softer landings, and a couple of carbon fiber wrenches here for your putting on your props. They give you a bunch of zip ties. Okay, so that's everything, and then now we got the drone. Looks very nice. Obviously, got to put the antenna on the back. It's the same frame as the original Wizard, but they upgraded the motors, ESCs, camera, flight controller, pretty much the works. Let's see what kind of motors we got here. Some 2300 kV 2206 motors, so they've went from a 2205 to a 2206. Feel pretty smooth. You can see there's no ESCs on the arms. Now you got this nice braided motor wire here, and it's heat shrinked. All the motors feel pretty smooth. So that means with no ESCs on the arms, we're dealing with a 4-in-1 ESC inside. I believe it's a 30 amp. See here in the back, you got a little pigtail for your video transmitter. You got a buzzer. You got some LEDs. This is like your receiver antenna back here, and that's looks like a small FlySky A8S clone. On the top, you get 2 battery straps. Looks like you got some indicator lights. That's probably your video transmitter there, and you got some sticky pad stuff for holding on your battery. That's on the frame. That's kind of nice. I heard this camera is like an HS1177. It is CCD. I think it has audio. There's a little mic there. We'll check that out. So I'm going to go stick this on the bench. I'm going to take this apart. We'll take a look inside. I think it's got an F3 flight controller, 401 AC, video transmitter in the stack here. So we have to pop this open and take a look at what it looks like inside. Okay, so we're here on the bench, and I'm about to take the top off. I'm noticing a couple more things I wanted to share. I noticed that the motors here are soft mounted. I don't know if the camera will focus on that or not. But you can see there's a soft mount there underneath the motor, so no need to do additional soft mounting. I still don't like these little motor guards. It makes putting the props on more difficult. They still have the same LEDs on the bottom here, and you should probably put some sort of black electrical liquid tape on there or some conformal coating to prevent any shorts, because I've heard shorts happening here at these particular points. on the drone, so watch out for that. Another thing I'm noticing about the frame is it's not the same frame as what came on the original Wizard. This is the sandwich type frame that was on the Martian S. So you got a plate of carbon fiber, you got some sort of composite, that white material there, and then you have another plate of carbon fiber on the other side. So it makes the material lighter, but perhaps sacrificing some strength. I know that the bottom plate and the top plate tend to break a lot, so I'm not sure if this is actually stronger or weaker. We'll have to find out how durable it is, but you can see that white layer there in between the carbon fiber, the thin carbon fiber. That's some sort of composite material that lightens up the carbon fiber and supposedly makes it just as strong, but we'll see. Now, I don't know about the arms because they painted the arms, but I'm assuming that they probably did the same thing there. You can kind of tell that you can see the composite material there. See the darker carbon fiber, and there's a lighter color, it's that whiter one, and then another layer of carbon fiber. So I think they have the sandwich also going on the arms as well, even though they are 4mm arms. So something to be aware of. Not sure if it is going to be much lighter. It doesn't really feel that much lighter than the original, but I guess we'll see how durable it is. Okay, so I popped the top off, and there's notches here in the top plate for all of these side plates here. The two side plates for the camera, the side plates for the main body, and then also for the LED in the back. So it will be a little bit fiddly getting it back on. You have to line up all of these plates into the slots on the top plate, so be aware of that. Right here at the very top here, the thing that was hidden by the battery straps is the LED here for your bands and channels on the video transmitter. There's a button here for changing your bands and channels, I'm assuming. And you've got a pigtail connector here. It's a micro FL, a little hot glue there to hold it on so it doesn't vibrate off. And it looks like your camera connects in here. This is a different type of video transmitter. It's like a board style. Fits on top of the flight stack. And we'll take a look at it from the side here. Okay, so if we look at it here from the side, you got your video transmitter here. I think it's power switchable, by the way. 72 channels. You got looks like here you got the flight controller. This is an F4 flight controller. I believe it's the Omnibus F4 V2 Pro. And then right below that, looks like you got a PDB. No, right below that, I'm sorry, right below that you got the 4-in-1 ESC, it's the 4-in-1 30-amp ESC, and then right below that you got the PDB on the very bottom layer. So I'm not going to take this apart because it's going to be really hard to put everything back together, but I'm just showing you how the layers are stacked here. It makes it for a very clean build. You can see there's a lot of extra space here in front and behind the stack, and you don't have any ESCs on the arm, so that's pretty nice. Okay, so something different I'm seeing here is that on the side of these camera plates, there's some etching here for your angle. So if you want to have an idea of how to set your angle, it kind of shows you there, although it's pretty easy just to estimate on your own. And I'm noticing that this camera is probably an HS1177 type of camera. It doesn't say what it is exactly, but it has a 4-pin connector in the back. So just pop that off, and you can see there's 4 pins here. I'm actually going to connect this to the OSD cable for an HS1177 and see if we can have access to the camera settings on here. Okay, so I took the camera out, I plugged it into the OSD board of an HS1177. Let's see what we can get here. And everything's in Chinese. I'm assuming that first one is the language. This says it's a Sony CCD 600 TVL, so it's not HS1177. I think it's an HS1179. Okay, so I kind of went through all these and guessed that they wanted the bottom here. Second or third one from the bottom was the language, and just pressed over the right and changed it to English. And I'll just take a look at all the settings here. You got manual, DC, video. I'm going to leave it on manual. So I'm pretty sure this is the HS1179, not the 1177, because this is a 600 TV line camera, so it should be a little bit better. And here, day night, I'm going to change that to color. And under image adjust, let's see here, noise reduction, I'm going to turn that off. And I'm just putting all the settings that I like. These are actually the settings from Final Glide Oss's video, so if you guys are curious where these are coming from. But yeah, it's just nice that we can make our changes here. I don't think this is documented anywhere, but I'm glad I checked. Change that to LCD. Here we can turn our cam title on and off. There's no voltage monitoring. I think there's an OSD on the flight controller, so I'm going to turn that off. And you can see the firmware version on here. Okay, go ahead with the settings. I'll just take the lens cap off here, and we'll take a look at what the field of view looks like. So everything looks pretty much in focus. And as I expected, this is a narrower field of view than the HS1177s that have the GoPro lens on there. This has a standard lens. I think this is probably about 100, maybe 110 degree field of view. Normally I can go all the way to the left or to that window and to the right in this window. I may mod this with a GoPro lens at some point in the future. Okay, so I want to quickly show you guys how to set your band and channel here. I believe this button is not going to be very accessible from the top plate, so you should do that while the top plate's off. You can see here it's rotating between A as a dash and a 3, so that's your band, that's your power level, and 3 is the channel. And I'm going to change this to channel 7, and then I'm going to switch the A band by, I think you long press this for 2 seconds, and then the A starts flashing. And then we go to the B band, E band, there's the F band, and there we go. You can see we're transmitting now. We've got the OSD, and just have the lens cap on here, so you can see that it's transmitting an image now. And I believe this single dash is probably 25 milliwatts. I'm going to increase that to 200, so if you hold it for 5 seconds, the little dash should start flashing. And first the letter, and then dash. So go 25, 50, and then 3 lines is 200 milliwatts. And it'll cycle through the channel, the band channel, and the power level. And we'll go ahead and we'll power cycle this to make sure it held. And there you go, looks like it works. Okay, so I got the top back on. It's a little bit fiddly. You gotta make sure that these are all lined up. And you got slots here, 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 here. I think that's a total of 10, as well as slotting this underneath and making sure that these wires aren't being pinched. Otherwise you'll have some frayed wires and probably some shorts. So other than that, not much left to show in here. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the computer. I got to take this little rubber stopper off here. That's the USB port. We'll connect up to Betaflight, take a look at the settings. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. I'm going to pretty much set this up as if someone buying this doesn't have a lot of knowledge and just wants to go and fly it. So we're going to see how well this flies just with the basic setup and nothing too crazy. So go to the computer now, we'll take a look at what we got, and we'll set it up for taking it out to the field and flying. Okay guys, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to continue this video at this time. Motor 2 here does not spin up properly. So I'm here in Betaflight and I'll spin up motor 1. You see that where that works. And motor 3 is working. Motor 4 is working. And this is what happens when I try and spin up motor 2. And then you can hear the ESC is resetting. So not exactly sure what's going on here. I did check for continuity, see if they had too long of a screw in there. That's not what's going on. I think I've got a bad ESC. So I'll have another video. Hopefully they'll give me a replacement ESC and I can get this thing flying. But at this time, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to continue this review.